I live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway. Okay.
A basic necessity budget?
Let's continue.
Going to space for fun while there are people dying on the streets and like starving. Like, you know, if you can give more, I think you could and you should, just because it's like, it's a group.
How much does one person need, really?
Yeah,
really,
right?
like really.
But who defines that?
But, then,
Bro, this is the part that I just
The season of League is the best one yet. Yeah.
despise. Like, the how much does a person need really is not even a conversation that we should literally be having at any stage, okay? But especially not this stage. And I'm not saying that because I'm rich, okay? I don't give a f. I already give a load to charity. I already give a load to the government.
I don't believe either of those things. All right, he probably gives to the government because of taxes. I don't think he donates anything to charity. I think he just donates whenever, because no offense, but like if you're bragging about donating like $1,000 on Twitter, which is laughable at our income levels, especially at his income level, there's no shot that you're donating other things in the background. You're not saying it. Like you would reap all the virtue if you could on that. You would reap all the virtue points on that if you were actually making donations. He'd be posting the 501c3 tax receipts and everything, 100%.
Way more than any wealthy person ever does. And I don't care.
The reason why he probably pays more to the government, more than any wealthy person or rich person ever does, is because he sits and hoards his money like Scoria, the dragon from my D&D campaign. Yeah, of course your tax rate is high because you hoard your wealth. You don't have any employees. You don't pay anybody to do anything. You don't invest in any projects. You don't invest in any businesses. The money just goes to your savings account and maybe an investment account. No shit, you pay a lot of taxes. And no shit, there are people that make more than you that don't pay as much in taxes because they actually do stuff with their money. They employ people. They pay for shit. They have products that they buy and sell to people. They do things with their money. That's how it's supposed to work.
I live on a basic necessity budget for the most part anyway. Okay.
A basic necessity budget?
I don't even know if I say I live on a basic necessity budget because my rent is so high and I know my expenses are 1/10. Didn't this guy just buy like a $150,000 car? Basic necessity budget. How often do you think he DoorDashes food on his basic necessity budget? How much does this guy's clothes cost? What part of his lifestyle is a basic necessity budget? This guy flies in private planes to Burning Man. What, $250,000 car? What is the basic necessity budget? Doesn't he get like $1,000 shirts and shit? He's got, does he have a maid? Like what the Jesus, the basic necessities.
Okay.
How do you say this shit and not like have your balls shrivel up into your ass? I feel like my balls would actually crawl back into my asshole if I were to say some shit like this. Holy That's a good CEO meme. Vosh called Serbs Nazis, and most of my family died resisting Nazi occupation. I'm more than okay with criticizing Serbians' actions in Kosovo. He also called us bloodthirsty. Oh, well, that's probably over the line.
Yeah, I know. Give more. I got it. You got it. The reason why I say that is because it's fundamentally not the conversation that that Marxists should be having. It has nothing to do. If a society was built as a dictatorship of the proletariat, okay, this would not be a problem. Like there would be no inequality or wealth inequality to this degree. It wouldn't even exist. Okay. Didn't you say most people couldn't afford your diet? I mean, yeah, because I can eat out. When I
What? How much more basic is food? What kind of basic necessities are we talking about? Well, I basically just have basic necessities, you know, except for my food, clothes, housing, and transportation. Like, what else? What else is there?
When I say bare bones, I mean like within my means, but
Within bare bones, but within my means. Dog, you're a millionaire every 3 months.
but it's like food. Expensive because of the delivery mechanism of the food, or a car that is expensive, or a house that is expensive. That's what I mean. But it's still well within my means.
Can I get a clip? I just have, there's like 12 clips here that I can tweet out from this. Jesus Christ.
But the conversation around
This is like a gold mine of like just the most out of touch socialist.
basic necessity and you live in $1 million house rich, oh my god, brain.
Actually, I'm too lazy. Where's Sargon? Okay, good luck.
Brain dead. No, I'm talking about shelter. Expensive, yet still shelter. Stop saying LA mansion. Stop misunderstanding my point that I'm making. Oh my
What was your point? I don't know.
god, I hate how reactionary every single person turns into. Literally, every single person turns into the least charitable reactionary idiot the moment that this can of worms opens, okay? So many people are just like, I'm leftist because I hate rich people.
No shit. How many times does Hasan say like billionaires are evil? I guarantee Hasan. I'm not gonna be able to find a quote. I guarantee you he said this in a debate, or he said H3 gross. I know he had that picture with the eat the rich shirt. Make the rich pay. I just meant more in taxes. Is this guy banned from Twitter? Fuck.
You should be leftist because you hate the way that commodities are produced and the relationship that the working class has with the means of production.
I love how much the rhetoric changed. Initially, the funny thing is, Hasan, as he's gotten more wealthy, is actually more correct. Because before, socialism is like billionaires are evil and, you know, rich people, you know, landlords.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude. Oh my god, in a video game, of course. Holy dude. Sorry. I meant a video game.
But now it's like, well, technically, the amount of money that any individual has in society is actually completely and totally irrelevant. One person could have $1 billion, one person could have $1. Marxism is actually concerned with the relationship between commodity production and labor. When we're talking about Marxism, you have to understand, it doesn't matter how much money somebody actually has. It just depends on the form of production of your economy, right? Obviously. Like, yeah, that's very funny to me.
You dummies. You don't understand. Fundamentally, the reason why Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk give money to philanthropy is unironically to stop people from thinking the way that you're thinking.
That's not true. People don't just donate money to let capitalism thrive. It's so stupid. Destiny, didn't you change your ideas when you became more wealthy? What do you mean? In some ways, but I'm pretty sure I got more left. But I think my ideas have like legitimately changed over time on some things, but I don't think it's to become more self-serving. I'm trying to think. like I was the most libertarian and conservative in my life when I was probably at my poorest point. Probably when I was cleaning carpets.
About them. How do you not understand that when you fall for the aesthetic every single time, you unironically are making it like you're making the argument that like Elon Musk, who doesn't live in a house, by the way, is actually a better leftist than someone like myself, okay? The world's wealthiest billionaire is literally a better leftist than me. I mean, come on, right? I mean, he doesn't live in a house. Warren Buffett lives in the same house that he bought for like, what, $50,000 or some shit. Hasn't moved out. Probably a better leftist, right? Would you say that, you know, ultra-capitalist hedge fund manager Warren Buffett is a better leftist than me? Because his house is, if we're...
Damn. Does just like investing make you a bad person now? Like, why is Warren Buffett a bad person? What the
we're only hyper-focusing on the aesthetics, you will constantly you will constantly lose sight of the real prize, okay? While I still donate a shitload to charity and do fundraising and all that good stuff, you are basically engaging in the same liberal reactionary attitude, okay? You're focusing on the aesthetics. You are unironically yourselves, okay? They didn't also move their family in. I mean, it doesn't matter. That stuff is whatever. Still aesthetics. People generally hate
It's
wealth
crazy that at
inequality
this
more than they
point he
hate their
only
job.
names super wealthy billionaires to compare himself to.
True. What's gonna happen when he has like 8-figure, 9-figure net worth? I bet he already has. Is he? Do you think Hasan is worth 8 figures at this point? I don't think so. Probably not yet. No, he signed that 2-year Twitch deal. I bet he might be, actually. He's probably worth over $10 million. I wonder what the internet guesstimates it at. This guesstimates 4 million. I wonder how much his... What do you think his 2-year Twitch contract was for? Oh, it was over $1 million, obviously. Over $2, $3, or $4 million. I'm trying to think. Plus sub split. He doesn't do sponsors. But he spends a lot of money. He really does live like the uber consumerist, capitalist, like frat boy lifestyle. So he does spend a lot on like clothes and shit. But I think he's at a point in his life where I think it's hard for him to outspend. I think it's hard for him to probably outspend. Destiny, it was leaked? Wait, was his contract was? Or are you just talking? No, you're not. You don't know what I'm talking about. I bet he's worth over $10 million. Oh my God, we're only halfway through this.
Jobs, though? Yes. Why would we as leftists focus on the aesthetics rather than focus on dialectical materialism? Because a lot of people are not actual leftists. They are not actually anti-capitalist. They are simply rad libs who are trying to desperately move away from the
need more
negative
Hasan vs. Train
association
content.
that most people have
It was too
intrinsically
good
with
during the
liberalism.
mystic stuff.
They're literally just, there's so many anarchists, for example, that'll be like, I'm an anarchist. And then you try to ask them like what ideological reasons they are anarchists or what they believe in.
I like how Hasan has become the ultra theorist now. Holy.
Like the ACAB, but pro-NATO conversation that we're talking about. And that is straight up a inherent contradiction. In European politics, people almost solely focus on aesthetics, by the way, mostly leftist ally. I know. You know why? Because the Cold War was lost, okay? Red Scare propaganda was very effective in the Western world. American capitalism won. That's why we are living in a global capitalist hegemonic world, okay? We have a global financial system. We have... that's it. Like, we are living in a capitalist universe currently. So, of course, in that circumstance...
Is Hasan a commie? He's whatever the makes him the most amount of money at any point in time.
American capitalism won. That's why we are living in a global capitalist hegemonic world, okay? We have a global financial system. We have... that's it. Like, we are living in a capitalist universe currently. So, of course, in that circumstance...
Dude, you want some boomer... Dude, Melina is like my daughter. Okay. Why did we close our Hasan video? Did we finish even watching it? Okay. We get into the thing. No break yet. E-break. No break. Okay, neutral. I'm sorry. Let's finish this.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford
Wait,
housing
not that
in
one.
Berkeley.
Let's continue. Straight up, in European politics, people almost solely focus on aesthetics, by the way, mostly leftist ally. I know. You know why? Because the Cold War was lost, okay? Red Scare propaganda was very effective in the Western world. American capitalism won. That's why we are living in a global capitalist hegemonic world, okay? We have a global financial system. We have... that's it. Like, we are living in a capitalist universe currently.
I bet I could beat space exploration in 200 hours, guys. Should we do a speed run?
So, of course, in that circumstance, in that situation, unironically are going to have even the most like people who consider themselves to be radically in opposition of capitalism to reinforce capitalist ideology within their leftist values.
Wait, have I said this before? In the topic, oh, this is from a woman too. In the context of the topic of this debate, ABBA versus Red Pill Guru versus Old Tweet Curiosity. One of my first impressions of you, and part of the reason I refused to watch it for a long time because it seemed fairly broad and simplistic at the time, and I had personal experience with the subject matter, was a tweet that you made about a year and a half ago where you said that any man who dates a single mother is psychologically damaged in some way / insecure. Have I ever said anything like that ever? Sounds like you, yes.
You get it? Now, it's super easy. And by the way, I don't even fault you for feeling about my financial status. Like, I don't even fault you. As I've said time and time again when people were yelling at me, I get it. I understand. If you don't have a lot of money and you see some dickhead like myself sitting around making a lot of money, living in a nice house, able to pay his brother's student loans, able to house his family whenever he wants, able to travel. This is frustrating for you. You're like, this makes me mad. This makes me upset. However, that's envy. That's not a real revolutionary or radical feeling that you have. It's just, as a matter of fact, the least radical feeling that you could have. And it's also a completely understandable feeling that you have. I don't fault you for that. I get it. I totally understand it. I am totally on board with it. Use that anger and energy and frustration, however, on, more productive things rather than yelling
like
at me.
Defund the police.
and trying to consistently find some inherent contradiction in my existence.
Key Tyler 1 alert.
Guys, how do I